I was looking at my bank statement the other day and it got me a bit annoyed because everything is getting so expensive. And I realized that I was leaking my money out of my pocket without even realizing it. So today, I want to share with you 5 hacks that I've started using that actually are saving me money. And not things that they are not for everyone or they're too difficult to apply. Like, I'm not talking about investing money into the stock market, for example, but small changes that work for me. So I thought, why not share with you as well. Now, before we dive in, I want to quickly catch up on my week. It's becoming now a ritual to update you on what's going on with my life, how's been my week. So, today I want to give you a quick update. As I said many other times in my vlog, at work, this is one of the busiest periods of the year for me. So things are ramping up, and for the next couple of months at least, is going to be busier and busier. Say that, what I'm very happy and proud of is that I kept my healthy routines. As you know, I start running with more intention, and this is what I kept doing it despite being tired and despite having a busier life than usual. So this is for me is a great goal. It's not about the running itself, but it's more about taking care of yourself. And this is something that in the past I've neglected a bit, especially in the most stressful moment or when things are getting busy. It was always easier for me to let things slip away. While this time, I'm proud to say that I kept going. It's not always perfect, it's not always nice and easy as you watch on TV. Life, as we know, sucks sometimes, but I'm trying to stick with my plan and I'm happy about it. And I think this is what matters, right? We say it many times. The happiness is the most important things. The other update, next week I have a wedding to attend. I think I mentioned before. I'm usually super organized. This time I found myself looking for my suit 10 days before the wedding itself. But I have to say that it's all sorted and I'm ready to attend the wedding. I'm going to be the man of honor, so there's few things that I'm planning and I'm organizing, and I don't want to spoil it right now because it's going to be a surprise for my friends who are getting married. But I'm super excited, and also for this occasion, the wedding is here in London, but I have few friends that are coming over from Italy to attend the wedding. So I'm super excited because I will be able to see friends that I haven't seen in years. Anyway, this was just a quick update for what's going on in my life. Now, back to how we can save some money. So my first hack is pack lunch. Now, I don't know you, but I've always bought food on the go every time I went to work. It's much easier, you don't need to think about it. When you're on your break, you go grab a sandwich or whatever you fancy and perfect. You're all sorted. But I then realized that with all the prices that are increasing right now, you end up spending 10-15 pounds a day, which is a lot of money at the end of the week. For what? For a sandwich that I could easily make at home, a better quality, the way I like it, much healthier ingredient. So for me, it was almost an epiphany. Now, let's be real. It took me a while to get used to. At the beginning, you need to, first of all, think about it, plan it, add it somewhere in your schedule. Remember about preparing your lunch. So it's not a thing that you decide, you start, and off you go, an easy change. It took me, I have to say, few days, maybe a week of getting used to and slightly changing my routine and find what works best for me. And you are all different, we are all different, right? There are people that prepare the lunch the beginning of the week for the whole week. I'm more a person that I prefer preparing either the night before or in the morning while I'm getting ready. Get something fresh, could be pasta or maybe chicken breast with some vegetables, something that I fancy, packed and is ready to go. It saved me money because I would not spend £15 for a bit of pasta or a sandwich if I make it myself, not even for a chicken breast. So if you times the £10-15 for how many days you work, at the end of the week, I could spend that money something different and better. Plus, there's a health element because let's be real, everything that you buy that is already pre-made, pre-packed in a supermarket or even in store in a restaurant, it cannot be as healthy as something that you prepare from scratch on your own. And there's also an element of satisfaction because you actually cook for yourself and you prepare something that you like. Also, and that's not something to underestimate, you save a lot of time. Because I don't know where you live, but in London, lunchtime, it's crazy everywhere. Everybody has their lunch at the same time, so it doesn't matter where you go. Even just to buy a sandwich, you need to queue, you need to wait at least 15-20 minutes before you actually had your lunch. And if you only have an hour and half of the time is spent queuing and buying your lunch, you end up with less than 30 minutes to enjoy a break. By packing your lunch from home, everything is ready, you're good to go, you can enjoy the lunch. Now that the days are becoming better, there's the sun, is warmer, I like to have a walk or, enjoy time for yourself. So this was my hack number 1. Hack number 2. It's physical versus digital shopping. So what I did is switching back for all the non-essential shopping to the in-store shopping. I used to be the person that is spending evenings scrolling on the phone and browsing on my favorite website. And let's be real, shopping online, it's so convenient, it's easy, you have everything that you need at your fingerprint, you just click a couple of buttons and the next day you have everything that you order at your doorstep. That's perfect, that's great. But everything is designed to make us spend more. If you're window shopping online, it's very tempting as it's very easy to click on buy now. And this is an impulsive purchase, but do we actually want it? Do we actually need it? Very often the answer is no. And the other evil, how do I call it, mechanism is that we find an excuse or we justify ourselves by saying, oh yeah, if I don't need it, if I don't like it, I will return it. The reality is that you will very unlikely going to return what you bought online. Is you don't want to waste time and money. Now, I don't know where you live, but here many companies that charge you if you return something that you bought online. it's a hustle and you're gonna keep it. End of the conversation. So what I'm starting to do now is actually deciding and putting an effort to go and buy in store. This helped me a lot to cut all the impulsive purchases. First of all, that doesn't mean that I don't browse online or don't do window shopping virtually, but I don't click on buy now. I go physically to the store. That means that if it's an impulsive purchase, the day after, it may have gone from my mind. I may not even think about it. Second, I really need to want to buy the item in order for me to take the train or get on the car, traveling, find the store, go to the store, queue, and buy it. So there's already a barrier, and only if you really want, if you really need the item, you will be ready to go through the hustle. There's also an element of weight. I've realized that, when you buy online, because you don't physically grab things, you don't physically pay, mentally, you don't realize how much you spent. You don't realize that you're actually spending money. When you're in store, because you have the item in your hand, the weight itself of the item makes you realize that you're spending money. There's also an element of you're in store, you have the chance to try. For example, is something for clothing. You can see the quality. And there's also the element of the experience, which I completely forgot about it, because by shopping online, it's you, yourself, and the screen. And let's be honest, websites are very clever on you go to buy a t-shirt and then they offer you a discount on the second item, and then when you're on checkout, there's the third and the fourth, and you end up in how many times I started with the idea of buying maybe, a £30 pair of trousers, and you end up spending £200 and taking home things that you don't necessarily need it because you weren't even thinking about it before you visit the website. So that's the second hack, and honestly, that saved me tons of money already without adding the extra side effect of forcing me to go out, to go shopping, and to enjoy even just the process of go to a store. The next hack, it's almost linked to the previous one. What I started to do is to unsubscribe to many of the mailing list of all the brands I've signed up for. The idea behind is that if you don't say it, you don't think about it, right? Now, I'm not saying that I've opened every single email that I receive from every single brand, right? But even just scrolling or deleting, it keeps alive in my mind the memory of those brands. So first of all, the first screening I did was when I look at the email, if there are emails like marketing emails that I don't even open, I unsubscribe. And the beauty is that now with the newest phones, and I have an iPhone, I think would be the same on Android, it's even easier to unsubscribe because you can do directly from your mail app. You just click on unsubscribe. But even if it takes an extra couple of clicks, it's worth it. Because for me, there's an element of, well, if I don't even open the email, why it should spam my inbox, first of all. Second, I started to pick and choose also the brand that I like. The idea behind is that there are some brands that they send me offer that I can use in store as well. So it's good to be part of the mailing list because that could save me money if I need to buy something. But there are other brands that I love. I'm not gonna mention any of those, but there's a brand for a clothing brand that I really like. And every week they send email, and in every email there's a mention of a special offer or a new collection, something that you can apply on the website. And in the past, what happened is that not today, not tomorrow, not next week, but then you click on the email and then you go on the website, and this is where, everything starts and you start spending money. But actually, they don't give me any physical benefit if I go into the store. So for those brands, I decide to unsubscribe anyway. If I want to know the latest collection, I can go and visit the website, or I can go to the store and see what's going on. I don't need a mailing list to know what the latest updates are. But as I said, if you don't see it, you're not even thinking about it, so less temptation. The other hack is around subscriptions. Now, this is almost two separate hacks, or there's a part one and part two. First of all, and I think this is something that I did in the past already, so I was in a good place, I have to say, but is going through your bank account, looking at the subscription that you have, that there are tiny one, the cheapest one, and ask yourself, do you really need those? I'm not talking about the $9.99 or 20 or 30 or 40, 50 pound a month subscription. This is something that we are aware of, and hopefully, if it's the case that you don't need them, you already scrap them. I'm talking about the very inexpensive one. Like I had a subscription from a printer service of $2.99, not even £3 a month. And I always kept it because the logic is, well, it's £3 a month, it's nothing, and I may need it at some point. The reality is that I haven't been printed any pages for the last 4 or 5 months. So I paid £3 a month for nothing. It's £3 a month, but in a year is maybe 30, 40 pounds that I wouldn't even spend without a subscription. So that's the first part. By doing this check-in, I've also cancelled one subscription, but there are many similar to those that help me save tons of money, which is the subscription to Amazon Prime. Now, I have nothing against Amazon Prime. I've been using for many years, and I'm saying Amazon Prime just as an example. Is any subscription, any plus service that you may be subscribed to in order to have free delivery or next day delivery or extra benefit. Why it saved me a lot of money? Well, what was the hook for me with Prime is that by having Prime, you don't pay shipments, you have next day delivery, you need it, you click on it, it's gone. You don't even need to put the card number, right? And I was buying items on top of items, even small. Like I think like all of us, we're more aware of a big purchase, like if I spend 100 or 50 pounds or 200 pounds, but the 3-4 pound purchases are tiny, right? And because you don't pay shipment, because you're on Prime, you click on buy, and that's it. But at the end of the day, at the end of the week, if you add up all the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 pound purchases, it's a lot of money. So now, without Prime, yes, I'm still tempted. I'm still checking on Amazon what is on there. But then you need to add the shipment cost. So again, maybe you have a £3 item that you want to buy, and it's £5 of delivery cost. Is it worth it anymore? No. And you end up understanding and realizing that the same item can be found in store way cheaper than on Amazon, and you don't need to pay delivery. Yes, again, we go back to the previous hack. you need to take the car or the train and go and visit the store. And that make you realize and questioning if you actually need the 3 pound teddy bear shaped cup holder, right? So that for me has saved me in just 2 weeks a lot of money. Saying that, I haven't said that I'm not shopping from Amazon. I've bought many things from Amazon, but I'm more conscious about what I'm buying. And I have a friend that have Amazon Prime, so if I need something with urgency and I need it the next day, the agreement is that I will ask my friend to order for me with the Prime account, and then I will give the money back. The final hack, it's what I call the pro hack. I call it pro because out of everything I share with you today, it's maybe the most difficult, the most challenging, the one that is taking the most effort, but potentially is the most useful of everything, which is a budget file. Now, some of you may already do it. For some of you, it's not new. For me, I've never got into the habit, or at least not in the past years, to physically track my spending. Not because I didn't care, but because I always had in my mind the idea that, well, I'm checking my bank account, I'm checking my car statement, I know what I'm spending. Why should I write it down? Why should I budget in? Until I was talking with someone that were explaining to me their way of budgeting and why it's useful for them. So this year, at the beginning of the year, this is something that I started actually back in January, I decided to create this budgeting file. So I have an Excel spreadsheet, nothing too complicated, where I track all my spends. And I say it's difficult because I've started in January and it's now the end of February and I haven't been diligent yet, but I see already the power of this file. The way it works is that at the beginning of the month, usually right now at the end of the month, you start preparing the upcoming months. You know roughly how much money your income is. You know what are the bills, the rent, the recurring expenses. So you take those out of your pot. And then with everything that is left, you build a budget and you estimate how much you will spend for, I don't know, food and shopping and transport, and you allocate all the money. The secret is to allocate every single penny to something. So even if you want to save money, you allocate that pot into, for example, a saving account. So everything that is in somehow will be allocated to a pot in the out budget. When the month starts, you then start tracking your actual expenses. And this is where it's more challenging because I had to change habit. And this is my second month, and I think this month was already much better than the previous one because you need to start tracking all your expenses, get the receipt if you don't want to look at the bank statement. What I tend to do is I now got into the habit to get the receipt of everything that I buy, collect them, I have them in a place, and then at the end of the week, I go through all of them and add it into the budget file. It takes maybe 10-15 minutes. The more you do it, the quicker you are. But you have an accurate report of your expenses. Now, The challenging part is that sometimes you may forget about something. For example, transport. Here in UK, you can pay with your card, and yes, you can look at the bank statement at the end of the week, but sometimes you forget, or it's not a physical receipt, or maybe you're out and about and you grab a coffee and you don't track it. That's absolutely fine. The idea and the way I see this is not that I need to track every single penny that I spent, even though I can see already the improvement between months by months, and the more you do it, the more you get used to, and the more accurate you are. But what is the power is where at the end of the month you check your estimate, your budget, and your actual, and you realize that there are areas where you think you spend X amount of money, but the reality is that you spend much more. On a positive side, there may be area when you think you spend more and you actually spend less. But for me, that was and it is a game changer. Especially when it comes to, for example, grocery. In my mind, I had an idea of how much I spent every week for my grocery shopping. Now that I track, I realized how off I was, because when you think about grocery, you think about your main grocery or your weekly shopping or daily if you do daily, and you forget about maybe the top up, or when you go and you buy milk or bread, or the small on the go purchases, which very often may end up, I'm not saying doubling how much you estimate, but very close. That could be also eating out, or go to cinema or restaurant. We tend to underestimate how much we spend. So by having the budget file is allow me to have a realistic view of my income outcome, and I also realizing where the monies are going, and if there are areas that I can actually control and cut my expenses if I want to, and if I want to save money, because the whole point of our conversation is that life is becoming so expensive that I want to save money, to spend less, or put that money in something that maybe I enjoy more. One thing that I've been doing when I'm tracking my spend in my budget file, it's also adding information about my mood and if it was or not an impulsive purchase. Because my idea is to, over time, understand if there's a pattern, understand if my mood and me being happy or sad or stressed actually influence my habit when it comes to make purchases. So these were my 5 hacks, things that I've been trying and I've been doing it on my in my day-to-day life, and that I found useful and achievable. And again, just to be clear, it's not about being cheap, but I think it's about being intentional in how we spend money, so we can actually spend those money in things that we actually care about, in things that we want. Let me know in the comment section if you have tried any of these hacks, if you have other hacks, how do you save money, what is that is driving and motivating you, because I think it would be great to share experiences and best practices. Now, until next time, you take care. Bye.